Hey crafty friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky DIY, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Manitoba, Canada. It's the first Friday of July. I am going to share with you the first Friday free class. This technique I discovered totally by accident when I was doing my Stampin Blends class. I had originally intended to go one way, but I was pleasantly surprised at the outcome. Now I'm just putting the inside of my card in because I always forget this part when I'm doing a video. So we're going to plop our basic white onto our Night of Navy base. Our card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 finished size, so 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 scored in half, 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I've also got a piece of the Country Lace Designer Series paper. I really love this denim pattern, and I wanted it to be just a little, I don't know, I just wanted to have a little pop of pattern and design behind. So this piece is 4 1/4, or sorry, 4 by 5 1/4 as well. Now we're going to get to the cool part now that we got the business done. I'm just going to put that over there on my punch. And actually, I need to grab a piece of scrap paper. And then we're going to get to it. I'm using Iconic Imagery as our stamp set and Versamark ink. And we are just going to stamp basically all over. This piece is 4 inches by 5 1/4. I will be trimming it down. You probably can't see where I am stamping at the moment, but you will be able to once we bring in the magic. Stick that one there and do one on that side. All right, I think we have decent-ish coverage. Cover up our ink pad so it doesn't dry out. Now, the colors that I'm using are all blues. I've got Balmy Blue, Light and Dark, Blueberry Bushel, and the Dark Night of Navy. We're going to start with our lightest color. You can do this however you want. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a ombre pattern, and then as I color, you're going to be able to see our Versamark start to pop through. And then I am going to be going over it completely with the Balmy Blue when we're done, just to make sure that we have no ink lines. Light Blueberry Bushel. Now, it does take a second or two for us to be able to see, and it is a little bit easier to see with the darker colors versus the lighter colors. But then, whoops, we're going to go over it to make the pattern pop. Dark Blueberry Bushel. I had originally done this with the strawberries from the ice cream swirl set. There we go. And then we're going to do Dark Night of Navy. Now this is a slightly larger piece than what I need. So if you don't get the edges totally covered the way that you want, it's not a big deal. You can always trim it so that it looks the way that you want. That's what I love about crafting. There's really no rhyme or reason. You can make it whatever you want it to be. And sometimes things change track as you're progressing. Okay. So you can see as this is setting up. The snowflakes are starting to show through a little bit more. Light balmy blue. I'm going to go over it with our light balmy blue just to kind of help bridge those lines a little. And also, if there's a spot that you don't love, you can absolutely go over it again, or you can put an embellishment there. You can stick your sentiment piece over top. Really, whatever works for you and your style of crafting is exactly what you need. Now the sun is starting to stream in. Sorry, itchy eye. So I'll bring that up so you can have a little bit of a closer peek at how that is going to look. Now, if you want to, you can go over with the Versamark again. Now, the blends do dry really, really quickly, so you don't need to worry too much about it impacting. But then, when you stamp over, it'll add an extra layer. Oh, my supervisors are hard at work. I'm not sure what they're barking at, but I guess they don't really need a reason. All right, so we're just going to add a few little, there we go. All right, so we've got 2 layers of our stamping. We've got layer 1 that is underneath, that's acting as a little bit of a resist. And then we've got layer 2, which is over top. If you wanted to, you could, once the blends and the first layer are dry, you can go over it with some embossing powder. That would look really pretty. Just kind of give it that little bit of extra level of sheen and shine. But now we're going to trim, and then we're going to do our sentiment piece. So let's see. I'm going to do 5 inches. I'm going to do 1/8 of an inch off of each side. So we're down to 5 inches. And then we're going to do 3 1/4. And we'll do about 1/8 of an inch off of each side of this as well. 3 3/4. I really love this technique, and I love that it was an accidental discovery. It was totally not where I wanted to go with it, but actually, I feel like we need a little bit of a pop behind. So I'm going to do move these guys out of the way. 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, I think. Let's see if our measuring is right. Excellent. Sometimes 1/8 of an inch gives it just a little bit of something different. And actually, my friend Angie was the one who kind of turned me on to that idea. She does it a lot on her cards. And I really like how it just gives that little tiny bit of definition. Okay, center-ish. Oh yeah, I like that better. Okay. And then we've got just the tiniest little bit. Actually, I think we'll do, yeah, we'll do a little bit of an offset on this one. I don't know if you've been around my craft room for a hot second. We just kind of go with the flow and see where we end up. Okay, corner to corner. So I'm going to match it. Oh my gosh, I can't talk right now. Oh, there's an Oreo fur. Come on. Oh my goodness. There we go. So we're going to line it up to this edge and that edge and kind of make sure that it's equal-ish and make sure everybody's going to stay within their area. All right, now we are going to hexagon punch, I think. I love this stamp set because it's got all of the words. I'm going to do peace and joy for this one. And peace and joy. Come on. And then I think we're going to do, all right, seriously, I just had the end and now it's vanished. Oh my goodness. Oh, there it is. Clear Stamps, I tell ya. They are the problem child in my craft room some days. Okay, so I'm actually going to do it this way, I think. So I'll do peace. And I like to lay them out this way so that you can see where the layout's going to work the best. And then joy. Put that down a bit, I think. A little fiddly, but we'll get there. Okay. See, problem child. There we go. See if our take your pick helps them behave a little bit better. Okay, stop sticking to my finger. Yes, I talk to my stamps. Doesn't everybody? Okay. Peace and joy. Press it down. And then we are going to ink it up with Misty Moonlight, maybe? Yeah, we'll bring in another blue. Yeah, Misty Moonlight, I think will be pretty. Okay, and because this is the first time that I've inked up this particular stamp, I'm just going to test it and make sure that it's going to do a nice clean impression. Sometimes there's a little bit of a residue left over from the manufacturing process. Actually, I don't like how far up the piece is. I'll bring it down a little closer. There, that's better. I don't know, blue and I were a bit of a disaster combo. I always end up getting blue everywhere. Okay, and then we're going to bring in our stamp, and I'm going to stamp it off a couple of times because I just want a very light impression. 1, 2, whoops, 3. All right, so there is our sentiment done. Actually, I'm going to add this little strip as I've got some extra strips, the 1/8 of an inch strips that we cut off. I'm just going to stick them behind for a little bit of added interest. Got the scraps? You might as well use them. Okay, so then I'm just going to flat lay this. So we'll do our adhesive strips on the back, and then I'm just going to do one straight across, and then I might need to trim this again, or maybe not, we'll see. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Easily done. And then If I had dimensionals close at hand, I would grab those and use those, but actually no, we're not done yet. We need one more little layer. It just needs a little bit of something to help it pop. There we go. So just a quick little punch with the Heartfelt Hexagon punch. Put this guy right here. And then I love blue and silver together, so I'm going to use the basic gray and smoky slate pearls. I'm just going to do 3. I'm going to do 1. There. So there is our first Friday free. We've got Stampin' Blends Resist with a little bit of Versamark over top, Hexagon Punch, and one of the new online exclusives that started July the 3rd, Iconic Imagery. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.